Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is going to be your April 2025 reading. If the Taurus Sun portion doesn't resonate with you, check back to your Moon and Rising sign. If, as always, you can go over to my website. I can't touch it. HiddenLotusTarot.com and book a private reading if you need to look at the situation in your life. That didn't come out right, but there it is. I have with me today the Radiant White deck, the La Vida Sibila for clarification should we need, and we'll wrap the reading up with an angel answer card. This is going to be a short reading. So let's turn the camera around and get started. This is going to be 9 cards. I've already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph. I'm going to put another shuffle and rifle on the cards. I think April is going to be very pivotal for a lot of people. I just have a feeling. It's going to be many things in flux. At the end of this month, Neptune moves into Aries. That's the first time we'll all experience the energy of Neptune in Aries. Let's cut the deck. It's going to be a 9-card spread. Let's get started. My chair won't. It's crooked. I have locking casters on it so that don't fall when I sit down, but sometimes the casters get stuck. Okay. First card down is 3 of Cups. This card came out in the Aries reading. So again, if the story doesn't resonate with you, check back to your Moon and Rising sign. That Knight of Pentacles, the 5 of Pentacles, the Justice card, the High Priestess, the Tower. That's 3 major arcana across the middle row. And the last 3 cards, the Devil, the Chariot, and finally 4 of Cups. That's an interesting spread because out of 9 cards, I have 5 major arcana. The pip cards are going to be on a mundane level, but these are your spiritual lessons. Okay, the 5 major arcana are. What is the energy over the entire reading? The Emperor. I have no repeater numbers. I have 2 Cups and 2 Pentacles with 1 core card. Everything else is major arcana. Let me look at this for a second. This is quite interesting to me. Let's start in the center. The High Priestess is a 2. And 2s always represent choices, options, decisions, dualities, a crossroads. But the High Priestess is also a card about trusting yourself within. Going within to figure out what's going on. Trusting your intuition. The High Priestess is usually a female who is extremely smart. Sometimes I get this card for clients when I'm reading for clients, someone who may be autistic or on the spectrum, like Asperger's syndrome. She knows a lot, but she doesn't say a lot. She watches, and if she has something to say, first of all, she has to figure out, the High Priestess, if you are worthy of what she tells you. She is a keeper of the library. But the card says, go within and meditate on the situation. Whatever the situation is, it's going to be, I don't want to say major. It's going to be a definite change, either in life or lifestyle. So she sits at the center. Now, let me move over here to the Emperor. It represents the sign of Aries. So it could be a fire sign male. He may be someone that he represents like a philanthropist, a coach, a mentor. He represents someone, if you go to him, he gives you good advice. He may be an older male. He may have some tendencies to be kind of martial in the way he moves or thinks and what he does. When I say martial, I mean like in the military, because he has on the boots here, the armor. He can also be like a father figure, but he can also be reversed. He can be someone who is very difficult to get along with. It's his way or the highway. So I take these are two people. That's energy that they're giving off. And if this is you, the High Priestess, it's telling you to go within and trust. Know yourself. The cards are read past, present, future. Past, present, future. The interplay of the cards. And across the top row, I have 3 pip cards. I have the 3 of Cups. The 3 says there may be postponements and delays before future successes are realized. And it could be that at least 3 people are involved in the situation. But the 2 says, 2 of Cups, is talking about 2 things coming together to make the third, the 3 of Cups. And the 3 of Cups signifies some kind of universal celebration. It can be a baby shower, a wedding celebration. It could be a bridal shower, a stag party, a graduation. But it's something that everybody will universally know what it is when they see it. It talks about celebrating. Behind the 3 of Cups comes the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. If you look at his horse, he is big, slow, and lumbering. And he's standing still. He's not moving. So this, all pages and knights to me represent messages. So this could be a message about either finances or doing something. But the story goes, when the Knight of Pentacles shows up, it's about news that you have been waiting on for some time. It's not going to move fast because the horse is not fast. So you have time to think. About what you're going to do or how you're going to handle your money. It could be a gift. It could be about learning or new skills or something. A new job. It could be anything. But behind the Knight, I didn't tell you. When the Knight of Pentacles shows up, it says to give him a nice cool glass of water because you have been waiting on this news for a long time. I find it odd that the card did not come like this because it shows that you get the news and you celebrate. The news comes after the celebration. So maybe it's a celebration too soon. Because after the Knight comes the Five of Pentacles. It's a 5. And 5s always represent terse energy, discordant energy, ups and downs, highs and lows. A changing energy is what 5s represent. And this card says someone is feeling as though they don't have enough money to take care of their material or finance or physical needs. They feel like they are poor. Poverty may enter into the situation, or a feeling of poverty, of lack. But the 5 also says two things. There are 5 pentacles in a church window. So you are focused so much on what's going wrong that you're not paying attention to where you might find help. So this can be charities or churches or just somebody to talk to. Yeah? But the 5 also says don't give up because you are about to achieve something you never thought possible. This is like a dark night of the soul. It says there are 5 things that you can do or possibly do to help alleviate the situation. Now, I don't know if this situation deals with a legal issue, because justice is here, and that can stand for a legal issue. But justice is a card of karma, secular and karmic law. So maybe you were celebrating too soon and the news finally came, but you figured out you don't have any money to do anything with. And the card of celebration is saying, you know, I don't want to say it's karmic, but maybe you celebrated too soon before you actually knew what was happening. And justice also says that no matter what the situation, it is fair and just, even if you think you got the short end of the stick. You have to weigh up the pros and cons of the situation. That's what the scales are for. Weighing up 2 different substances and trying to balance them out. The letter J keeps popping up right here. Not the B, but the J. We go over to the Tower card. And the Tower card is expect the unexpected. You know how you maybe you own a car and it's making a sound, but you drive it anyway because maybe you don't have enough money to get it fixed. Here's the 5 of Pentacles, and then suddenly you got to go somewhere important and the car breaks down. You knew there was something wrong, but you chose to ignore it. So the Tower is the only man-made structure in the deck. It talks about how we build up particular structures in our life and expect that everything is going to go the same way all the time. The Tower comes in to say, no, it doesn't. Things can happen out of the blue. And you have to shift your perspective on the way you think. It could be a loss of a job, a sudden loss of a job, a sudden loss of a relationship. You thought it was going to last forever. But the universe does not like static. It is not a static place. Sometimes a situation will happen, and when the Tower comes in, it spells complete and utter destruction of whatever you thought the thing was. But the cool thing about the Tower is once the smoke and dust have cleared, you can rebuild on a flat ground. You can start over. And then we come to the Devil. The Devil talks about the material world. It can be either that you have been too materialistic in your goals or your wants or your needs, but can also just represent material things. Money, sex, clothes, drinking, a fancy car. The Devil represents temptation. And I get the feeling that something is being offered to you that is tempting. And you're not sure if you should accept it or not. The Devil talks about power and control issues. Who has it? Who doesn't? It talks about fear, because it represents Saturn. Constriction, getting smaller. And the two people in the Devil card are chained at the base. But if you notice, the chains are not on very tightly. So this card says, what do you commit yourself to? And you are never chained in such a way that you can never be free. We come to this the Chariot, which is the number 7 card. And sevens say that it's a moment of pause and reflection before you step out again. It also says a 7, expect a surprise. We see it right here. It doesn't tell me if it's a good surprise or a bad surprise. It's Cancer card. So it represents the moon. And emotions. And I only have 2 cups and 2 pentacles. So it's a decision either about finances or what you're going to do and how you feel. Okay? And the Chariot card says you can absolutely make a decision about what you want to do and where you're going to go. Only you are driving the Chariot. Nobody else drives the Chariot but you. And if you can get a handle on your emotions, the dark side with the light side. If you look, he doesn't even have any reins. So he's driving the Chariot by sheer will. So this card represents determination, emotional control, some logic. You're not just driving with your feelings. You have to know where you're going. And this card says you can absolutely get where you're going if you can control your emotions. And then we come to the 4 of Cups. 4s represent a stable foundation. But in this card, look, you go from 3 cards to 3 cups to 4 cups. But there are the original 3 cups on the ground. So all the partying has stopped. You're left with 3 cups, and this 4th cup is being presented to you. And you're not very excited about what's being offered to you. So the card counsels, do not turn away a potential cup of happiness. You may feel that things are fine, but I'm telling you, something is going to change. And sometimes when I have the Tower and the Chariot, it can mean like a car accident. So be careful. A car accident who was somebody who drank too much, or who was tempted and did something wrong, and they had a car accident. Karma. So I'm looking at the 3 of Cups, the Tower, and the Devil. It seems like you are caught in a situation. And the best thing I think for you to do, the card counts, they tell me, is to stop and think about what you're doing. Because it's like you're walking around in the snow, like somebody left you in the snow, outside in the snow. You feel abandoned and betrayed. But is it because of a legal issue or because of karmic conditions? And then you have to rethink what you're going to do again, because an offer is definitely going to be made to you. Twice it shows up. This is in effect the Ace of Pentacles. This is in effect the Ace of Cups. So I can only look at 3 cards here. I'm gonna turn it Knight over because he traditionally represents a person. That leaves me with the 3 of Cups, the 5 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups. As it relates to the Justice, High Priestess, the Tower, the Devil, and the Chariot. And sometimes the Devil can talk about a legal issue, looms large. I have 2 cards speaking about a potential legal issue, the Justice and the Devil. And so how are you gonna navigate that? So let's start with the 3 of Cups. Talks about nothing next to all these cards. The next thing is a 5 of Pentacles. Talks about nothing next to all these cards. It talks about obstacles, setbacks, or feelings of lack and loss. It may indicate economic and financial difficulties. So a realistic check of circumstances is needed at the time. The 4 of the 4 of Cups. Telling me nothing next to all these cards. So if I had to look at 2 cards, I'm gonna look at one, and that's the Devil, because he is the last card down on the past column and the first card out on the future row. Something about the Devil tells me this is someone or something kind of issue from the past. that may try to come back and rear its ugly head. Comes back at an inconvenient time. But, you know, life is not always convenient. The precious presents. It can be about money, about material things, about gifts, about money. It can even be advice that someone gives you. Or someone who tries to live, I don't want to say above their means, but above their means. That would tie in with the materialistic aspect of the devil. The Alegria, which talks about pastime, having fun and pastime with your friends. Happiness with your friends. This is different from happiness with a family and happiness with a partner. They have 3 different cards for that. This is about having a good time with your friends, about being in bars or restaurants. It also has a warning, this card, that if you have met with somebody that you don't know or don't know well, you have to be careful because they can be a fair weather friend. And viaggio, vacation or trip. So I don't know if this is something that happens while you're on vacation or a visit to somebody, visiting your friends. Something is going to happen that's unexpected. That's all I can tell you. It's like I feel like you are saying in a way, just screw it, I'm going to go. But then when you either arrive or after you come back, this could be you have to go back where you came from. And then when you get back, whatever is offered to you is not satisfying. And you have to seriously think about, I think, what happened. Let's look at the angel answer. That's an interesting reading. Is it karmic? Or is it legal? Whatever it is, and it's this is a shop, and this is a feature row. I mean, a feature column. You get the feeling that it's going to be something that kind of rocks you back on your heels. Like, what the fuck? Excuse my language. Whatever the thing is, something comes crashing down. Whether it's a relationship, trust, your job, or just your belief system, it's going to be called into question. Within the next few months. So, I never put a time limit on my tarot readings. I say that everything happens in its divine right time. This can be something simple as trying to come back home from a vacation, and something is preventing you, and somebody offers you something, but you're not excited about it. Within the next 3 months, In the next few months, what you are asking about will occur. Divine timing means that other people's free will choices are also involved. So keep the faith while all the pieces of the puzzle come together and the situation resolves itself beautifully. That's interesting. And that's what I have for you, Taurus. Sun, Moon, and Rising for April 2025. Good luck.